Tyler.
Melissa, shares of gunmaker Smith & Wesson are trading at an 8-year high. This as there's been a growing debate, of course, over whether there needs to be more regulation following recent mass shootings in California, Paris, and elsewhere. Let's bring in two analysts now. Brian Ruttenberg is with BB&T Capital Markets, and Andrea James is with Doherty & Company. Welcome to both of you. Andrea, you have a buy rating on Smith & Wesson. Let me just ask you this, and it's I apologize for a slightly long question. Whenever there is a mass shooting in this country, typically the sales of guns go up and the stock prices of companies like Smith & Wesson rise. And the explanation, conventional wisdom, is it's happening for one of two reasons. Either because people are concerned about their personal safety and want to protect themselves, so they go and buy guns, or they are concerned that there will be increased restrictions and regulations on gun sales, and so they want to go out and buy now so that they cover their option there. Which do you think is the correct explanation? And do either of those, they don't necessarily have to be mutually exclusive, of course, do either of those play into your investing hypothesis?
Well, they do. You know, the investment hypothesis that I have is based on a secular trend of more women, urban, and youth getting into shooting, younger people, more urban people. But fear and uncertainty drive gun sales. That's just a fact of the consumer. And of course, we see that fact play out when there's a mass shooting. You have a heightened period of fear and uncertainty. And the number one reason why somebody would go out and buy a firearm for the first time would be for personal protection. Now, for the second time, it would be hobby shooting, or they've gotten really into guns. They found shooting to be a lot of fun. But definitely that first-time gun buyer is going out for personal protection primarily, not because they're afraid the government might change the law for some reason. That's probably about, on a list of 10 reasons why people go out and buy a gun for the first time, that's number 8. So fear of government legislation is not the top reason.
You just said something, and I want to pick up on it before I bring Melissa into the conversation. You just said that one of the growing areas are urban, more upscale, and female, right?
Yeah, that's right. About new gun buyers, about 2 out of 5 are female. That's a doubling over the past 10 years, that's right. And then also, new shooters tend to be under the age of 35, whereas people who've been shooting for 10 years or established shooter base like 10 years ago, the average shooter was 45 years old, somebody who has taken up target shooting as a hobby.
Brian, you've got a hold rating on the stock. It's a winner of a stock when it comes to stock market performance, up 120% year to date. What's your thesis behind having that hold rating? And do these shootings and the uptick in registrations that we saw, background checks on Black Friday, does that change your outlook for Smith & Wesson at all?
Okay, so the reason behind the hold rating, my logic is that the uptrend is primarily in inexpensive handguns that sell for around $300 at the retail level. Smith & Wesson has been heavily discounting, as has others, of those inexpensive handguns. The last surge that happened in firearms was 2012 and 2013, and that was with military-style rifles. A military-style rifle, on average, will sell between $800 and $1,200. So you're going to have to sell a multiple more handguns, inexpensive handguns, to make up for the sales differential for military-style rifles, as well as it's a much lower margin business selling inexpensive handguns, especially in the discounting environment. So I'm concerned specifically for Smith & Wesson, which is trading at its 13 and 14 highs, that we're not going to hit those same kind of earnings based on selling inexpensive handguns versus MSR.
Interesting point, Brian. Andrea, let me get you to react to that from the standpoint of someone who has a buy on the stock. Are you concerned that as Brian says, the weapons on which Smith & Wesson might make its highest margin are not, they're having to come down and cut prices and compete with lower cost ones? And a related question, Andrea, would be this. Is there a point at which America becomes saturated, the market becomes saturated, and everybody who wants a gun has one?
Well, the thing about firearms is I like to liken them to women and shoes. If you are a gun enthusiast, you can never have enough. So there's a collector's mentality out there that will continue to drive gun sales. We also don't see any demographic trends that really point to Americans buying fewer guns in the future. All politics aside, the trend line is up and to the right. In terms of the cost of those guns, Smith & Wesson actually has a higher margin on the low-cost handguns. At the same time, Brian is absolutely right that the Smith & Wesson dominates in handguns, and that's what's driving a lot of the surge.
All right.
Right now.
Alas, we have to leave it there. Brian Ruttenberg of BB&T and Andrea James of Doherty & Company, thank you very much. We appreciate you being with us. Melissa.
Thank you.
Up next, another gun story, and this one involving Remington. CNBC uncovering a new trove of documents related to the gun maker's alleged cover-up of a deadly defect in its rifles. We've got the full details ahead. And as we head to break, take a look at some of the most active stocks moving here at the NASDAQ. Power Lunch, be right back.
The CNBC Real-Time Exchange Market Snapshot is sponsored by Interactive Brokers.